Big crowd at Fir Park. The teams are out. Time to get to our commentary team. It's Motherwell against Rangers with Stephen Craig and Derek Ferguson and Liam McLeod.
It's a fabulous day here in Motherwell. Fir Park filling up here for the opening league fixture of the season for these two. And it is a fixture at Fir Park that Motherwell have toiled in over the last couple of decades. They've got a better record against Rangers at Ibrox recently than they do here, having gone 27 years without a win over them in Govan. They've won in their last couple of seasons at Ibrox, including the most recent meeting between them at the start of March during Rangers' record-breaking run of games without a home win. Armstrong and Sparrow put Motherwell 2-0 up. Desser scored what proved to be a consolation in the second half. It was Wells' second league win at Ibrox in 3 visits. Of course, they did win in the playoffs in both legs just over a decade ago. So a fabulous day for it. All the players put on a show as 2 former teammates go head-to-head in the dugouts. And Russell Martin and Jens Bertil Askew were once upon a time at Norwich City together. And the teams they've sent out today: Motherwell, Ward in goal, Katrumbis, Longalo, Gordon, McGinn the captain, Just, Slattery, Fadinger and Watt, Maswanise and Stamatolopoulos. Rangers with Butland in goal, Tavernier, Giga, Suter, Aarons, Raskin, Rothwell, Diamande, Dowell, Gassama in his first start, and Danilo leads the line as he did against Panathinaikos in the 2 legs of their Champions League second qualifying round tie. Rangers are going to kick off all in blue with white flashes. White at the top of the socks, going right to left towards the Davy Cooper stand. A man who enthralled both sets of supporters of these 2 clubs. Once in the blue and once in the claret and amber, as Motherwell are this afternoon as they shoot south, left to right. And the first kick of the ball is Joe Rothwell, knocking it back to Giga, who finds Tavernier in his 11th season now at the club. His long ball forwards headed clear and into the centre circle, where it's picked up by Slattery. He was in good goal-scoring form towards the end of last season. He's back on it here, driving towards the edge of the Rangers box, slipped in behind Tavernier and pulled back and almost fell into a wonderful area for Stamatolopoulos. Rangers clear out for a throw-in over on the far side in front of the east stands. A rapid start by Motherwell, Stephen Craigan.
And I think it'll do them a world of good, Liam. I think until you experience this fixture, the atmosphere, the tempo of the game, and get a feel for the ball, you don't really know what to expect. So a nice positive start. They've completed a couple of passes. That should give them some confidence.
Quite surprised, Liam, you know, the ball gets to Tavernier, you know, you think you just keep possession early doors, but gives it away cheaply.
Slack at the back for Motherwell though, and Danilo's onto it, and he's got Gassama to his left. That's where it goes. Little chip ball in. Diamande attacks, it goes down, no foul, and Motherwell can come away with it with Slattery out to this near side. So both teams having forays forward. I think Stamatolopoulos will be offside. Here he is, down the right side, flags up, free kick to Rangers. So both teams having a little pop at each other in these early salvos at Fir Park, and it's going to be a Rangers free kick which Aarons will take on the near side. They're both coming into this in good form, Stephen. Motherwell, despite an inauspicious start against Clyde in the League Cup group, they won their other 3, they went through. They'll face St Johnstone in the second round, and Rangers obviously fresh off such a positive outcome against Panathinaikos.
Yeah, well, both sides playing against completely different opposition. You know, when you think of Champions League qualifiers and you think about the Premier Sports Cup, there's a huge difference there, Liam. But the fact that you said Motherwell 4 games unbeaten, it just gives you that little bit of confidence, that feel-good factor. But there's the one risk that worries me. Elliott Watt in midfield, he continually gets caught in the ball, facing his own goal. He can't continually do that. He done it in the Sports Cup and he got punished. Sorry, he didn't get punished. He'll get punished here if he does it continually.
Be a throw into Rangers deep inside their own half over on that far side, which Tavernier will take. He's about level with his own 18-yard line. No goals in the early exchanges here, and he's bowled it short to Rothwell, but he's passed it straight out of the park. And Motherwell have a throw in, and now they're going to be level with the Rangers penalty spot. Sloppy.
Yeah, it's poor from Rangers early on in the game. Tavernier yet again giving the ball away, then it's a simple throw to Rothwell. Should be a simple pass back, but just puts it right out of the park. So strangely look a little bit nervous at the moment, Rangers.
Slattery on the far side, the cross ball's going to come in here. It was looped into the area, but it's cleared. It's nodded towards the penalty spot. Suter wins it. The header forward for Motherwell as they try and make something work, but Masmanise can't get onto it. In fact, Aarons goes down. There's a flag as well, so it will be a Rangers free kick inside their own penalty area. Are you surprised, Derek, he hasn't made more changes to the starting 11 given the exertions and the heat in Greece on Wednesday evening?
Not so much in the middle of the park. I think Raskin, Diamondi, they can handle those sorts of games, and the quick turnover. A little bit disappointed in terms of young Curtis isn't in the side. Yeah, seems to like Dowell. Maybe it's because maybe his defensive duties does it a little bit better, but that's the only disappointing thing for me. And again, Moore, Mikey Moore's have been a lot of made of it, but there's a little bit of paperwork because he's under 18 to get through. So I was actually coming here thinking he'd be involved in some way.
Yeah, that hasn't, as Derek says, hasn't come through in time. There's no Lennon Miller for Motherwell either. He's not in the squad they'd hoped he would be. Kusama doing well to dig himself out of trouble deep inside his own half. It's back into his own box, and Giga knocks it to his right for Tavernier, out to the far side touchline for Diamondi, to Tavernier, who gives it away, but it breaks Diamondi's way, and he shifts it into the centre circle for Danilo, then rolls it out to Kusama wide on the left. An impression he made in Europe, and he's cutting inside. He goes down right in front of the referee, Stephen McLean, and he penalises the Motherwell defender, and that's going to be a free kick to Rangers. And this is in a decent area. It was Fadinger's challenge, and this is going to be an opportunity to about level with the edge of the D of the Motherwell box and left to centre. 0-0 here, 4.5 in.
It's a great opportunity for Rangers. Fadinger, they're just coming back. It's a little bit lazy for me. He tries to get him back, but just lazily, his arm or his foot. But anyway, it's Tavernier who's had a poor start to the game. He's gave the ball already away 2 or 3 times, but this is he's a specialist from this type of range, so at least try and work the keeper, or even better, stick it in the back of the net.
He got away with one, didn't he, the other night when he was pickpocketed just at the edge of his own box. Came to nothing ultimately, and it is Tavernier who stands over this free kick. Kieran Dowell is there too. Well, you would think it would favour the right footer if it's going to be a shot at goal. It's relatively wide. It is Tavernier. He does go for goal, and it's tipped over for a corner by Callum Ward. 0-0, but it's the first bit of action for either of the goalkeepers here.
I think it was comfortable for him, wasn't it? But Liam, that comes from what I spoke about ahead of the game, that when Motherwell attack, full-backs are high, midfield are high. When the ball turns over, Rangers have a running power and the pace to catch them on the counter-attack. Motherwell are scrambling back, and that's why I think it was Johnny Katrumbas possibly that had to give away the free kick. They can't do that continually either.
Do you not think Ward could have caught that?
Corner will be taken by Rothwell on this near side, right-footed, floats it towards the penalty spot. Raskin meets it with the head, but it's well over the crossbar, and it will be a Motherwell goal kick. So that all comes to nothing for Rangers, and Ward takes the goal kick very quickly there, just shifting it out to that left-hand side where Paul McGinn gets onto it, and then it's shifted back to the keeper. Goes long with the right foot out to this near side, and it's taken down by Katrumbas, who rolls it into Slattery along the halfway line for Fadinger in his own half, and back to McGinn. McGinn will play it back to Fadinger, and then the long ball forward by Liam Gordon's cut out. Now it goes for a throw-in off a Rangers player for a Motherwell ball, which Katrumbas takes, bowled it into the Rangers half. Little cushion headed out to Slattery on this near side. Back to Fadinger, who turns it back the way to Gordon. Goes back to his keeper, doing Motherwell no harm at all, to just get a feel of it, get a feel of the ball, knock it around. And it's over on the far side where it's picked up by McGinn, who goes back to Ward again. They're not hurting Rangers with his possession, Stephen, but it can be important to build yourself into the game just by getting a feel of it.
It is, Liam, but this is the hardest bit then, is trying to find that Pearson pass, either in the striker's feet or into the channel. Rangers are working ever so hard to making Motherwell pass the ball. They eventually take a risk, set traps, and then try and nick it.
It's collected on this near side. Fadinger trying to hold off Raskin. Turns it out to the right wing area for Masmanise. Knocks it off an opponent, and Aarons to Motherwell throwing level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box on the main stand side. And it will be Katrumbas over it. And bowls it infield. And what can they make of this, Motherwell? It's been given away by Watt. and trying desperately to win it back. It's flicked forward there into the Rangers penalty area by Just, but it's away by Butland. High ball into the Motherwell half. Gordon nods it forward. It's going to break to the feet of Raskin though. Plays it back to Suter, and then out to Aarons on this near side, just shimmying away from Maswanise and going back to Giga, who finds Tavernier. 8 minutes in, Motherwell 0, Rangers 0. Remember, already in the Premiership, just the 3 o'clock kickoff, it was 2 each between Kilmarnock and Livingston. Kelly paying the price, having been 2-0 up for the red card for George Stanger. Livingston hitting back, late equaliser to get a point in the opening day on their return to the top flight. And as Giga for Rangers, who finds Suter, who goes back to Butland. Butland short ball for Rothwell. It's a tidy little flick there. It was a risky ball out by Butland. Rothwell did so well. Now it's Tavernier playing that more inverted position that his manager wants him to play in. Now it's with Raskin up to the edge of the box. Danilo back for Gishama, who fires first time, and it's wide of the right hand post. Low effort on the side foot there, and you did fear, given the impact Gishama's made in the 2 games against Panathinaikos, you feared for Motherwell on that occasion. He's obviously just going to shoot whenever he gets the opportunity, but he's maybe just a foot wide of that right hand post this time, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, Liam doesn't go for power, you know, he's just trying to stroke it into that bottom left hand corner. He was never going to go for the power, just looking for placement. I tell you what, you were quite kind to Rothwell there. You know, a lovely little flick. I thought he'd get really fortunate. Again, it shows you the press from Motherwell, and he was under a little bit of pressure. I don't think he actually meant that, but Rangers took advantage of it, got themselves up the park, and that's what Gazama's got in his locker, hasn't he? You know, he's already scored a couple of crackers, you know, so he's got it in the locker.
It's a lovely ball down the right hand side for Motherwell, and it comes in from the right flank, and it's back into the gloves of Butland off his own player Giga. Fabulous play actually down the right by Johnny Katrumbas, Stevens. Really good ball in, and it's into that area where Giga had to deal with it.
Well, Johnny Katrumbas was a player, Liam, but didn't see an awful lot off last year. He had a couple of injuries, he couldn't get into the side. Then when he came in, he got himself sent off at Dundee. But the managers liked him, he got great energy, he loves getting forward. I think we're now starting to see the best of him, but I have to say, it's been a great game to watch. A couple of individual errors, the tempo of the game, the speed of the game, the players want to take part in it. A really good spectacle so far.
It was just 8 appearances for Katrumbas last season, and he'd previously been in his homeland of Australia with Perth Glory, and in the A-League in Australia he'd played almost 150 games, so he'll be hoping for a run in the Motherwell team this season. Aarons collects on the near side, goes back to Suter, he finds Aarons, he's giving it away now, and Maswanise is all over him. Slattery shifts it out to this near side for Stamatolopoulos, tried to return the favour for Slattery, gives it straight to Giga though, wins it back for Rangers, and Gisama knocks it in field to Raskin, and he's able to nick it back to Tavernier, back to Raskin to the right there for Diamonde, who goes across halfway, double to his right, instead he cuts in field and squares it for Joe Rothwell. Rothwell out to Aarons on the left, forward to Gisama, to Raskin, back to Gisama. Lovely play by Rangers. Gisama's in the box at the byline, pulls it back, but it's cut out. It was really promising from the visitors on this occasion, and he was cut out by Elliot Watt, and he was in the right place to deal with it. Now it's back with Ward, the Motherwell keeper, who clears first time. Long high ball up to halfway, and Giga's onto it under pressure from Stamatolopoulos. He finds Suter, who then finds Aarons.
That was a brilliant little give and go from Gazama, you know, just playing it into Raskin, and then he's on his bike down this left hand side. Katrumbas is he's caught ball watching, but I just think when you're in that position, just fire across the 6-yard box, you know, anything can happen off a defender, but he's looking for the cutback, didn't come off.
Little flick from Gisama down the left for Raskin, he's done well, he's holding off Fadinger, gets his cross in, but it's into the gloves of Ward, who holds on his 6-yard line. But in his early days, obviously, but I think Rangers look like they may be onto a real match winner in Gisama. It's Danilo on the ball here for them. He goes for a goal, it clips the bar. Fabulous ingenuity from Danilo as he reversed it back towards the left-hand top corner. It just clips off Ward's bar and over for a goal kick, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 0 in 12 minutes. I'm talking about Gisama potentially being a match winner. Danilo, it's a huge season for him. He needs to make an impression, there's no doubt, and that was a really good effort there.
It was more than a good effort, Liam. It was a little bit of class, you know. He's 20 yards from goal, He's shaping as if he's maybe going to play a pass, or else maybe curl it to that left-hand side. Just reverses it, shows the keeper their eyes. And I tell you what, again, like Gazama previous, doesn't go for the power, just trying to clip it into that top right-hand corner and just comes off the top of the bar.
Well, Derek was talking, Motherwell playing it short from the back. It was Paul McGinn, wasn't it, who panically, just outside the 6-yard box, has dinked it straight across his goal and behind for a corner. How costly is that going to be?
That's the risk we spoke about, Liam. That's what the manager wants. You can't criticise the player. That's how the manager wants him to play.
13 in. Here come Rangers again with the corner. It's Rothwell's a free header. There's a goal, and it's Tavernier. 6 yards out. The header down directly from Rothwell's corner. And Rangers' Premiership season is off to a positive start here. Rothwell with the delivery. Tavernier in his 11th season at the club nudged the ball down into the net. Ward couldn't keep it out, and it is Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
And I tell you what, they're not getting an easier goal. Rothwell with that corner kick to the back post area. It's a clutch of players there, but Tavernier, you know, nobody, no contact, nothing, and he's only, 6-7 yards out. Just nods it down, simple as, into the back of the net. It's been a cracking game of football, but I think Motherwell will be kicking themselves, you know, defensively. That should not happen, but Rangers will take it every day of the week.
That's all come from the error.
You asked the question, how costly would it be?
There you go, yeah.
And that's on the manager. You know, that's one of my fears of this kind of way of playing. Every single time, Liam, is are the players good enough? Are they good enough to execute it?
Maswanisi for Motherwell out to Slattery, right-hand side of the box. It's a dreadful delivery over the bar. And that will be a goal kick as Motherwell look for an immediate riposte there. But they are still reeling from James Tavernier's goal.
But Liam, that's about decision making for a player. There is a style, a way of playing, but when you know as a player when you're out there, if it's not on, you're not going to play it. But so that's where I would be having a conversation with the manager. Yeah, I get if it's on, can you play that ball? Absolutely. But if it's not on, you just don't go. You don't go there. You don't make that decision, and there it's already cost them.
Here come Rangers again. Danilo pushing it out to Raskin, left-hand side of the Motherwell box, cuts in on his right foot, and the challenge comes from Fadinger, and Raskin's adjudged to have fouled the Austrian at the edge of the Motherwell box. That's a free kick to the hosts. I mean, there's a certain degree of naivety about the way that teams play if they're coming up, and we saw Rangers. They did it against Panathinaikos in both legs. If you're coming up against a stronger team, arguably, I know Rangers got through the tie, but it was a good Panathinaikos team, and they rode their luck at times.
Liam,
but there's a surely you've got to try
a time and a place.
Yeah, like there must be some kind of compensatory way you can go about it.
I mean, you don't want to describe it as a dinosaur, because playing out is absolutely fine, but not on every single occasion, particularly when it's not on, and taking needless risks and putting your team under pressure. I think you have to be flexible. Don't be one-dimensional, be predictable for the opposition. Mix your game up a little bit. That's my only query about it.
Yeah, and if it's that 10-yard pass, if it's not on, just go a little bit longer. It's not a lump up the park, and that's where the guys on the park have got to be switched on. You see your teammate in a little bit of trouble, how can I help him come off at the angle, go a little bit deeper and help him out?
At the end of the day, they still had the opportunity to defend the corner, and they failed miserably with that as Rangers sweep up at the back of the Suter, back to his goalkeeper. He didn't score as many goals last season, James Tavernier. Really small tally actually by his high standards, but that is his 131st goal in Rangers colours.
I don't think he's particularly had a good start to the game as well. You know, he's gave the ball away a few times. Here we go.
Giga at the back with two claret and amber jerseys around them, but he's found Tavernier, who gets it to Rothwell, gets it back immediately forward to Raskin, first time back to Suter. So Rangers with a lead here at Fir Park. They had to settle for a goalless draw on the opening day last season when they went to Tynecastle. Of course, as long as Celtic win the league, Rangers will be away from home in the opening day of the Premiership season. Fadinger on the slide, goes back to Gordon, and then moves it to the left for McGinn. We'll wait to see what kind of reaction the Motherwell supporters will get from their team, but they've given it away on the far side. Danilo picks it up inside the box, plays it off Gordon, and behind it goes for another Rangers corner, and Motherwell did not deal with the last one.
I think a lot of the attacks for both teams is coming because the opposition are getting caught in the ball, they're indecisive, they're giving the ball away cheaply. Motherwell's best attacks have come from turnover balls from Rangers, and Rangers' best attacks has been from picking the pocket of Motherwell players. So that's what I said it would boil down to: who can make the minimal amount of errors in possession of the ball closest to their box, and that's why Rangers are leading.
Outswinging corner from Rothwell this time, over on the far side in the northeast corner of the stadium. It's a poor one, and it's cleared by out on that far side by Longfellow, but the flag's gone up. Not sure what on earth went on there, but anyway, it's a Motherwell ball. Really dreadful delivery from Rothwell, having just teed up Tavernier from his previous corner.
I think that's something they might have worked on, you know, because they're used to going deep to that back post area. You just saw Danilo just making a little sprint towards that front post. I think he went a little bit too early. I think he was offside, but I think that was something that was worked on.
Longfellow fouled by Dowell over on that far side, midway inside the Motherwell half.
Did you see Paul McGinn's choice, Liam, there? He was in the exact same area of the pitch to give the ball away for the corner, and he played it with his left foot into the channel. Yeah. So that's when you talk about players learning from mistakes, which is fine, you can deal with that.
McGinn has it on the far side. He's gone back to his keeper this time, and the clearance from Ward goes straight out for a Rangers throw-in, which is taken quickly by Dowell to Tavernier. And the ref has blown the whistle. There's 2 balls in the pitch. It will be a Rangers throw-in, second attempt to take over on the far side for Tavernier. Bertil Askew down there, hands in pockets right now. He'll be concerned with the way this game's going, because Motherwell do not have a semblance of control on proceedings here. In the 20th minute, they trail 1-0.
And they look as if they're lacking a little bit of confidence, because they have gave 1 or 2 balls away, caught in possession, and sometimes it just eats away at them. So you can see that it's just a lack of confidence about them.
But on the flip side, Rangers have definitely grown since he scored. They've settled a little bit better, a bit more content with the ball.
And quite simply, this is the kind of game Rangers have to win this season, particularly on the road, and they did have that long run of 7 without victory at Ibrox across all competition, but particularly away from home. There were points spilled, including here last season. Found themselves 2-0 down. They had the wherewithal to get back to 2-2 and take a point at the end of December. But this is the kind of game they were shipping points in, as Dowell gets onto it down the right, and he slips just as he was trying to make something of it. Goes behind for a goal kick for Motherwell, which they take quick and short again. McGinn to Gordon, out to this right-hand side for Katrumbis. He plays it back to Gordon, to the edge of his box. Good footwork this time by Elliott Watt, but again they're running that risk. Out to Longfellow on the left, bounding across the halfway line, shifting it infield to Just, the New Zealander. Back to McGinn, and into Longfellow, into Just. He's got Fadinger at the edge of the centre circle. Instead he plays it to the left-hand side when it's fired forward towards Slattery. He goes down, free kick. Motherwell here. It's a little bit better from them, and they did work it out from the back on that occasion again. So that is, you know, it's risk and reward in many ways. It's a huge risk, but if you get the reward, then fair enough.
It was good control, I have to say. Good turn by Elliott Watt. Risky again, because he's facing his own goal. I think that's the worst position to be as a centre midfield player. Face your own goal and turn him blindly, because the opposition can just press right on you, Derek.
18 yards out from goal. That's how, when you like to receive a ball, you like it just at the angle, so you kind of know who's round about you. But yeah, just what Stephen's saying, back to goal. I tell you what, it's a terrific bit of skill.
Yeah,
but
Slattery is at the corner flag. He's moving towards the box. Chiga gets in his way, plays it back the way instead there to Watt, and then eventually it bounces off a Rangers man and out for a Motherwell throw-in, level with the arc of the Rangers penalty box. Just inside the area, it's flicked back out to the left-hand side by Elijah Just, but given away, and then it bounces off Stephen McLean. And Raskin's annoyed with the referee, who's apologising to the Belgian. It will be a Rangers ball. It is Motherwell 0, Rangers 1 here. We're approaching the quarter mark here of this opening league fixture of the season for these two. Earlier it was Kilmarnock 2, Livingston 2, Killie finishing with 10 men in that one. Tomorrow, triple header: Falkirk Dundee United, Dundee Hibernian and Celtic St Mirren. And the Premiership's opening fixture list of the weekend will culminate on Monday evening with Heart of Midlothian against Aberdeen, at Tynecastle. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Sportsound has full coverage, of course, of all those matches. As Paul McGinn picks back up at the edge of his box, back to his keeper, and then infield to Fadinger, who gets it to Gordon, and then back to Fadinger, out to Katrumbas on the right, up to the halfway line, into the Rangers half. He knocks it. It was a wrong decision. He'd Stamatolopoulos ahead, but Diamondi's giving it away, and now it's an opportunity to go for goal. Butland spilled it, and Stamatolopoulos sees his shot saved by the Rangers keeper. After Longolo looked like he was in a wonderful position, Motherwell might still be in here. And eventually it just squirmed away from Just and back into the gloves of Jack Butland, who'll be breathing a massive sigh of relief there, because there was a fairly tame effort from Longolo, which he spilled straight out to Stamatolopoulos. And in particular, you feel the Aussie striker will be furious with himself that he's not equalised for the Steelmen. It stays 1-0 Rangers, and Rangers giving it away again. Both teams guilty of that. Rothwell, and again it comes to this near side for Maswinisi, hooks it across, and it's clear by Giga. But it's giving hope to Motherwell here, and that's the encouragement that Rangers are giving them, that Russell Martin will not want to see. It stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1 though, almost in 24.
And I think it's something that certainly I'm going to have to get used to. You know, losing possession, that used to be criminal, you know, losing it round about the 18-yard box, but it seems to be the norm, certainly in this game. But you're right, it was a team effort. And Jack Butland, that was Jack Butland 6 months ago, you know, very poor, and he's got away with one.
That's why he lost his place in the team. Here come Motherwell again. There's an early ball across. Maswinisi's quick, but he wasn't quick enough to get onto that. Neither was Stamatolopoulos, as it was swung across by Katrumbas, and all the way out in the reverse side for a Rangers throw in on the Rangers right. But the last little minute or two has been much more promising from a Motherwell point of view.
I think they lost their way for 5 or 10 minutes after the goal. Then it kind of shook them a little bit because they started the game well. Rangers had the upper hand. Now Motherwell seem to have wrestled it back into their favour. The Rangers passes and giving the ball away, it's not complicated. It's simply 5-10 yard balls that should be easily executed, but for some reason they're being a little bit sloppy, and that's what's given Motherwell the encouragement.
It's out on the far side with Longolo. Eventually it drops at the feet of Watt as ball forwards cut out, but it will be a Motherwell throw just beyond the midway point of the Rangers half. Over in front of the east stand. Now it's with Slattery at the left angle of the box. He's been forced back the way, but it's been given away by Diamondi. And just at the edge of the penalty area, it looked like it might drop for Elijah Just, but he bobbles away from him, and Butland's able to boot it away first time. Then Giga finds it Raskin. A couple of sloppy ones from Mohamed Diamondi actually just in the last few minutes, which is Motherwell eyes lighting up. They haven't been able to take advantage of them, as Suter finds Raskin, and now it's with Giga. And Suter having to continue on the left side of the centre of defence, prefers it on the right. Of course, when Connor Goldson was at the club, he was playing in that position to accommodate the former, as Aarons goes back to Suter. And now it is Giga, one of the summer arrivals on loan from Wolves. There's Danilo, who goes down, shoved to the deck by Liam Gordon inside the centre circle. And it remains Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. And how are you reading this game now, Stephen?
Sorry, can I just say I think this is applauses for young Zach Gunn, who lost his life. You know, the young Motherwell fan who wasn't well then. I think that's what this is for. And I think both sets of supporters have been talking about it on social media just in case someone's wondering what's going on in the background. But I'm reading the game now that Motherwell are well in it. It's so often in the past when the Old Firm come here, you can be done and dusted after 20 minutes, but they're well in the game. It's just finding that cutting edge and that final pass that can create that clear goal-scoring opportunity for them.
First opportunity for them to pay tribute to Zach Gunn. I mean, that's just awful. Absolutely awful.
I think his big brother was mascot today. I think his dad put it up and he said he's the best big brother in the world. So, an emotional day for the family.
Yeah, absolutely. The young man passed away in June. An opportunity for the Motherwell supporters to pay tribute there. But yeah, I can imagine the emotions will be flooding through them after hearing and seeing that there, the tribute. Motherwell giving away the corner and it will be a Rangers ball over on that far side, and this time changing taker. Kieran Dowell is over this one. Throng of players around the penalty spot, swung in, and it's headed away by Stamatolopoulos. Bouncing ball facing his own goal. Diamonde with Maswinise all over him. It's not ideal, but he's done well to turn it back to Aarons, who's got plenty time to go back to his keeper. And it's Butland at the edge of his box. We saw the worst of Jack Butland a few minutes ago. We saw the best of him against Panathinaikos across the two legs. I don't think Rangers would be going through to face Victoria Pilsen in the third qualifying stage of the Champions League had it not been for Butland. And some really important saves in the two matches. There's a sloppy ball away from Motherwell in the midfield. It's picked up here by Aarons, who turns it out to the left for Gassama. Gassama running at the Motherwell defence, uses Raskin in the overlap, slides in to try and at least win the corner. Still in play, just. Let's play back to Gordon inside his own box. Shifted by Fadinger out to this near side. Slattery to Katrumbas, but he's had it nicked off him by Gassama. And sliding in is Lucas Fadinger to turn it out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1, almost on 29 minutes.
Tavernier playing left back, a little switch here. I don't know if that's intentional or just because of the play there. You know, they've decided we'll just stay in this position at the moment, but I'd like to see Aarons playing in that right back position where he's certainly more comfortable.
It was interesting, Russell Martin explained why Max Aarons has been playing left back, because Jeffrey and Yilmaz haven't done enough, haven't impressed enough in training and aren't up to speed, so that's probably a kind of slight on them, but that's what you have to do as a player.
Yeah, Yilmaz in particular is nowhere near it. Anyway, it's a corner to Rangers there, despite the best efforts of Callum Ward to get onto a throw-in that was played back to him. We know what happened at the last needless corner conceded by Motherwell. Not the last corner they conceded, but it was the last one conceded on this near side for Rangers, and Rothwell's over to take. He found the head of Tavernier, who planted it into the net. Last time he sent one of these into the Motherwell box. Rothwell, in-swinger, with the right foot coming up here. Tavernier's in that exact same position, and it comes towards him. It's too high for him this time, and it's clear by Longalo. Diamonde gets on to the scraps and turns it back onto the halfway line for Aarons. To Diamonde, to Aarons, and back to his keeper. Butland rolls it along the grass, and what a surface it is. And now it's with Tavernier on the halfway line. Goes back to Dowell, goes back to Giga, who finds Suter. Aarons has it on the near side. Raskin up the line to Gassama on his first start for the club. And Paul McGinn and Stamatolopoulos are making their first appearances in league games since the midwinter. After injury curtailed their seasons, Tavernier, not sure. Dowell was the intended target, but he's onto it anyway. Now he's bursting across the halfway line. Good play by Kieran Dowell. Rolls it out to Diamonde. He's looking for Danilo. He's just overhit the pass though. Callum Ward gets down onto the deck and holds on to it, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
Brilliant play from Kieran Dowell. You know, just breaking from his own half into the Motherwell half, and he goes past 2 or 3 players. Lovely ball out of Diamonde. I just think Diamonde should take a lot more care with that. You know, I don't think it's that hard a pass. You know, Danilo's making that little diagonal run into the box, right hand side. I think the weight and the pass should be far better than that.
I think when both teams get it right with their passing and their movement, it's really good. But the problem is, it's not happening often enough. There's needless passes being given away under no pressure at all, Derek, and trying to force balls that should be easily executed. I've said it a couple of times.
Yeah, both teams have been guilty of it throughout this first half.
It's just sometimes, Liam, when you see a player and you think there's a forward pass, just roll it in there. But this is what we're talking about, the style of play, like keep possession. Often, more often than not, they come out and they like to go out, you know, go backwards, then go out the other side. You know, when one pass can get you 30-40 yards up the park.
There's another one given away. This time it's Fadinger, and Rothwell's onto it, up to the edge of the box, decides to go for goal. It bounces off McGinn and behind for yet another Rangers corner. They lead 1-0 here, 32 played.
Again, a turnover in Motherwell's half, and then suddenly you can see the blue bodies. The minute the ball turns over, they're on their bike. Tavernier's on his bike, Gassama's on his bike, Rothwell's driving forwards. A real energy wants to turn the ball over, and that's where Motherwell have to be careful. Needlessly giving it away is giving Rangers lots of encouragement. Rangers' best chances are coming from Motherwell being far too sloppy.
6th corner of the match for Rangers, and it will be Kieran Dowell to take this one in swinger with the left foot in front of the Cooper stand. Bent into the 6-yard box, headed away by Stamatolopoulos. Bouncing ball's awkward for Diamonde. Maswanise is all over him again, and he's done well on the slide to get it back to Aarons. He needs to be careful, and he's fouled anyway by Just. That's a Rangers free kick, just a few yards from that far side touchline, right of the centre circle.
A little bit lucky there. You know, I thought that was the wrong decision then. Aarons, I thought, should have been going back to Butland, but nice to be a little bit clever, you know, and turning it away for the man. And well, wasn't much in it, but again, just that little bit of risk.
They've stuck with the Tavernier left, Aarons right for now, Derek.
Yeah, obviously the managers want to see how that pans out. It was always a strange one, you think, Tavernier, because he's, well, certainly the most more experienced, been here a number of years. You thought he would have just went slotted in there, but it is a slight on. You know, Ridvan's never been my cup of tea, I've got to be honest with you, but I thought Yefty, I thought he would have probably had enough you know, about him, you know, to kind of retain that left back berth, but not to be. Well, certainly the manager doesn't fancy him.
Rangers giving it away. Maswanise goes down towards the edge of the Rangers box. Stephen McLean's the referee. He's not interested, and Rangers are clearing up the park on the counter. Dowell has it. Danilo moves to his right. It's with Danilo. He's in the penalty area. Options in the middle. He can only win the corner off McGinn though. The Motherwell supporters giving their reaction to the fact they felt that Maswanise was fouled up the other end of the pitch. Rangers roared up to the Motherwell penalty area, and Danilo, I'm not sure if he was caught in two minds or what, but he had one or two options round about the penalty spot for a cutback.
I tell you, he does brilliant, because he just checks his run and then does a little kind of overlap down that right hand side, and yeah, you're right, as soon as he takes a touch, he should be hitting for goal. Takes another touch, then he's closed down.
I know Kieran Dowell isn't a lot of the Rangers fans' cup of tea, but this afternoon or this evening, his running power when the ball turns over, he's took Rangers up the pitch so many times, but from a central position. I don't think he's a wide player. All his good stuff has come from a central position. I think that's where he wants to be playing.
Stephen, that's the best I've seen him in a Rangers jersey so far this well, we're going to say this afternoon, this evening.
Yeah, I think we can say it's evening now.
Yeah.
Kieran Dowell was on loan at Birmingham last term.
It's Saturday, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes I get mixed up.
In comes the corner. It's headed away by Gordon. And looks like Danilo's happy to accept the throw-in on this near side, which is level with the Motherwell penalty spot. And Danilo bowls it back to Aarons. We're in the final 10 minutes of the regulation 45 in this first half. On Sports Sound across the frequencies on BBC Radio Scotland. Here's Tavernier, bends the ball in from the right hand side, sliced by Gordon, and behind for another Rangers corner. They're hurtling towards double figures in that tally. Just the one goal to show for it so far, as they take it short there to Dowell, who gets the cross in, away by Gordon, breaks to Aarons, and then to Rothwell, to Tavernier, goes all the way back to his keeper. I think Tavernier and Aarons have swapped back, and it's with Butland, who plays it short to Rothwell, and then shift it to Aarons on this near side. Boxing Day 2002, the last time Motherwell beat Rangers here. 19-year-old James McFadden scored the only goal, and since that match in 2002 they played each other no fewer than 61 times in the league, and Motherwell have only won 2 of them. Both at Ibrox, both in the last couple of seasons. Stephen Craigan was there to witness both of them.
And I remember them well. I was there in 1997 as well when Motherwell didn't win. When they last won, Liam. Of course, I stopped Rangers winning about 9 in a row that day. They won it a few days later up at Tannadice. But yeah, that was another one. It was Owen Coyle.
It was. It sure was. And there's Paul McGinn going back to Gordon. I mean,
that's the frustration. That's what I was talking about. That ball was on to go. Play it 30-40 yards forward and he's in, but It's as if it's ingrained. No, we need to go back, keep possession of the ball. It's about decision making. Get on the ball.
The thing for Jens Bertel Askew is that Rangers haven't looked entirely comfortable at the back. The thing is, the match has to be within reach for Motherwell to take, before they can take advantage of those kind of errors that Rangers have been making. As many as Motherwell have made at the other end, Rangers don't look comfortable at the back either. So they need to be within striking distance to capitalise on that. But if Rangers score a second goal, a third goal, then there's no way back at that point, you wouldn't think.
The problem is when Rangers are sloppy at the back and it goes into Motherwell's midfield, they're then sloppy trying to pass it forward and it turns over again. So there's no real fluency, or not enough fluency for both managers, how they see the game, how they speak about the game, what they want from the team. There's not been enough cohesion from both sides.
38 on the clock, Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. Derek.
Yeah, it comes down to quality of player you've got at your disposal. I applaud the way both managers want to play the game, but sometimes, within that, you've got to look at the players you've got. Can they adapt? Can they play that type of football? And just having a look at it, I don't think Motherwell at the moment have quite got that quality, certainly in important areas.
Motherwell throw in here, Katrumbis over it. And he's looking for an option in home colours. Katrumbis bowls it in field and gets it back immediately there from Just. And then it is Fadinger just turning it back the way there to Elliot Watt. Out to the right, Katrumbis, his ball in field, cut out by Rothwell, just outside his own box, finds Aarons, who was back to Butland, slices the high ball forward, comes off the head of Gordon, right to centre, but his header goes straight to Diamonde. Up to the halfway line, forward there to Gassama, loses out though to Watt, and now it's Fadinger turning it back the way to Gordon, and then out to Katrumbis. Infield it comes to Watt. This is better from Motherwell now. It's with Slattery. Stamatolopoulos ahead of him, looks to float the ball out to the left. The big switch to Longalo, and it's a dreadful ball into the box which goes high over the bar, and that will be a Rangers goal kick, and it will remain 1-0 to Rangers as we move towards the final 5 minutes of the first half.
It's good play from Motherwell down the right hand side, and it gets to Longalo. It takes a good touch, but the delivery, I'm just talking about the quality there, and it's that's not a difficult thing to do. Pick a player out with a cross. He's unopposed, he's only 25 yards from goal. Got to do a hell of a lot better than that.
Here come Rangers with Raskin rampaging forward into the Motherwell half, gets up to a bit level with the edge of the D, stops, turns, plays it back to Aarons, infield to Tavernier, then back to Suter, just left of the centre circle, moves it to his central defensive colleague Giga, who finds Diamonde, to Giga, now to Suter, and then back to Giga. There's 3 Motherwell players facing him. He's not under pressure at the moment though, as he squares it to Suter, forward to Aarons, and then Suter and Aarons again. Max Aarons spent the second half of last season in Spain on loan at Valencia, playing in La Liga. He's got the opportunity here at Rangers to make that position at left back his own. The aforementioned Jefte did come off the bench the other night in Athens and is on the bench today, but Yilmaz is in Siberia. As Slattery with the outside of the boot finds Maswinise wide in the right. Motherwell strike before the break, and it comes, a brilliant ball. Header's missed though. Chance here for Longalo, but he's beaten to it by Tavernier as he tapped it past Dowell, and Rangers clear out for a Motherwell throw-in, level with the 6-yard line. What a boost it would give Motherwell if they were to find an equaliser here before the break.
And it can change in an instant. Aaron's caught out of position there. Maswinise, down that right hand side, it's a terrific cross, and Rangers pretty comfortable in the game, but they need a second goal, because you can even feel, you can even see it with the Rangers fans just a little bit nervous at the moment. So
yeah, Slattery's been bundled over after that throw-in, and now it's an even better situation for Motherwell. They've got a free kick just level with probably midway between the penalty spot and the 6-yard line, a yard or two away from the east stand on the Motherwell left, as they attack the goal to the right here. We are watching up high at the back of the main stand, just to the left of the halfway line. And it is a Motherwell free kick. Slattery, Longolo over it. And it comes fired into the near post by Slattery, cleared there by Raskin and out for a throw-in over by the corner flag to Motherwell, which is bowled in quickly into the box. Stamatolopoulos with his back to goal, back to the defender, and then the trip from the Motherwell player on one of the Rangers players. Who was it going back there? It was
It's Gassama.
yeah, it's Gassama, it is.
What I would say, Stamatolopoulos, Liam, I know he hasn't had a lot of service and had a lot of ball. Any ball that he's had, I think he's been a little bit sloppy and loose, and he's easy to play against. I think he needs a partner. I don't think he's good as a number 9 on his own, and I think Danilo's the same. They'd prefer to have another partner beside them to help carry the fight and the battle. I'm not too sure the attributes that they have suit an out-and-out number 9, where they can come short and hold it up, they can win headers, they can chase into the challenge, they can get goals. I'm not sure they have the full package.
Obviously Rangers signing the young man from Spurs, who is, I think he looks like he's going to be the real deal in his career. I think he's already worth about 10 million quid at the age of 17. He's not available today, with continued talk over the futures of Igeman and Dessers. Igeman not involved again today, having missed the trip to Greece during the week. Dessers is there amongst the subs for the visitors. 1-0 Rangers, heading towards the final minute of the 45 in the first half at Fir Park. Tavernier across the halfway line, rolls it out wide right for Dowell. Rangers looking for a second before the interval. Longolo goes out to meet him. Dowell turns, low ball in, looking for Diamondes. Cut out well by Watt, and then clears his lines. High ball, Stamatolopoulos with a header out to the left, picked up by McGinn midway inside his own half. It's a long ball, but it's a poor one. Looking for Stamatolopoulos. His manager turns away from the pitch in disgust there. He goes out for a Rangers throw-in over on the far side. Motherwell on to their third manager of the year, Jens Bertalascu, who replaced Michael Wimmer in the summer. And the short spell from the German in the hot seat that he did get that win at Ibrox. It was probably his standout moment. There wasn't too much else to get the Motherwell fans excited about, though they were mightily relieved that they weren't dragged into a relegation battle last season, eventually finishing 8th in the Premiership. As Gordon's ball forward comes off Danilo, it's going to break to Masvinisi, and then it's pushed out for a throw in there by Fadinger, who's been so wasteful. There's Fadinger and then Masvinisi with the challenge on Aarons, and the two of them go head to head there, and we go into the single minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. I have to say that Lucas Fadinger's use of the ball today has been really poor.
If you want to play as a centre midfield player, you cannot, Derek will tell you better than me, you cannot give the ball away as much as what he does. And again, I'm not talking about trying to play 40-yard diagonals or switches of play. I'm talking 5-yard linked-up passes, which is what a midfield player is supposed to do in the system that the manager wants. It isn't happening, and it's just taking any momentum they're building out of their play.
The ball that was fizzed into him there, you know, he could have quite easily just took a touch, played a pass. He's opted to go, it's about decision making. He's opted to try a first time pass and just gets it way wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, the quality in certain areas. You know, they're just lacking a little bit to play that style of football.
He played 25 times in the Austrian Bundesliga last season, Fadinger. His team narrowly avoided relegation. We've played the 1 minute of stoppages at the end of the first half. Minute time on top here. Stephen McLean, Suter's header to Giga, but there it is, the half-time whistle. Motherwell happy, it's just 1-0 here. Rangers seeing plenty of the ball. They've had the vast majority of the opportunities, one of which was taken. All these new signings, new takeover, new future for Rangers, but the only goal of the game scored by captain James Tavernier, who will turn 34 soon. Joe Rothwell's corner came into the box after it was needlessly conceded by Motherwell. Tavernier headed it down past Callum Ward into the net to give the visitors the lead. That going in on 14 minutes. Danilo had hit the crossbar. Gassama went close before that. And another couple of half chances for them as well. Both teams, though, have been guilty of giving the ball away oh so cheaply. and you would suspect there'll be more goals in this one, but the only one in the first half at Fir Park here on Sportsound at the break has come for the visitors. It is Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
The Scottish Premiership.
Live on Sportsound.
Scottish football lives here.
On BBC Radio Scotland. This August, Edinburgh transforms into the world's biggest stage.
The whole city's a showstopper, so where do you begin?
Right here with BBC Radio Scotland, your guide to the Edinburgh Festivals.
Join Lane Penny and me, Michelle McManus, for music, comedy, theatre, the arts and more.
All the highlights from across the capital.
And if you're lucky enough to get a ticket...
Oh no, that sellout show was 2 for 1 offer.
No ticket, no problem. Just turn on your radio.
Whether you're in the city or listening around the country, we've got you covered.
Afternoons and the Arts Mix at the Edinburgh Festivals.
Woo! Coverage begins next week on BBC Radio Scotland and Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland on the opening weekend of the league season. Plenty to discuss earlier today in the top flight. It finished Kilmarnock 2, Livingston 2. We'll bring you a reaction from both managers just shortly. 4 games in the Championship today. Airdrie 2, Ross County 2, Morton 0, Dunfermline 0, Wraith Rovers 1, Queen's Park 1, St Johnstone 5, Partick Thistle 1. In League 1, Cole Rangers 0, Queen of the South 2, Hamilton Accies 2, Montrose 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Inverness Cally Thistle 3, Peterhead 4, East Fife 1, Stenhousemuir 1, Alloa 2, and in League 2, Annan Athletic 3, Elgin City 2, Dumbarton 2, Clyde 1, East Kilbride 1, Spartans 3, Edinburgh City 1, Stirling Albion 2, Forfar 1, Stranraer 0. So let's get to our pundits at Fir Park. Stephen Craigan, from a Motherwell perspective, what did you make of that opening 45 minutes?
Yeah, probably the same as what I thought at the start of the game. I mean, I'm trying to work out just if I'm enjoying if it's going to work, what they're trying to do. Clearly there's a lot of passes across the back. In midfield they've given the ball away far too often for me. They're maybe just lacking a little bit of cutting edge at the top end of the pitch. I think Tawanda Maswanisi can be a match winner. He hasn't had enough of the ball, or the quality to him hasn't been good enough. Elijah Just is another one. I think when he's in possession of the ball he finds good spaces, hasn't had the ball enough. So I think Jans Bertholascu, his tactic has got to be to try and get better quality of the ball to those two players, and don't just stand in wide areas. Can you come in the pitch and take up little pockets of space in behind the midfield players to cause Tavernier and Aaron's the full-backs issues? They don't maybe want to go in there, so can they get them in those little pockets of space? But overall in the game, for two managers who speak about possession and style and finesse and what they want, the goal has come from a set play, which probably wasn't in their thinking, and the number of times both teams have given the ball away unopposed, not under any pressure, trying to play simple passes, but playing it first time when it's on just to take a touch and complete the pass. You just always talk to the young players, Kenny. One touch risk, 2 touch safety, and there's been too many 1 touch risks when there hasn't needed to be. So for all the possession managers speak about, it's been a bit sloppy at both times, needless given away, and it's encouraged the opposition. But I have to say the intensity of the game's been there. It's been a good game to watch because there's been so many turnovers, and it's up to Motherwell now to go and try and carry the fight and get the equalising goal.
Yeah, Stephen's right, Derek. It has been an enjoyable game. From a Rangers perspective, are you happy with what you've seen in that first half?
Okay, you're on edge a little bit for both teams, because you can see there's a mistake in them. It's all about high risk, isn't it? They want to play it from the back, rolling balls across the 6-yard box, 18-yard box, and all it takes is one missed time pass, one little kind of lack of control, and the opposition are in. I think that's what makes it quite exciting, because you're on edge. For Motherwell, I just think in certain areas they've just not quite got that quality to go and play that style. So can they add? And it might depend on Lennon Miller. I think Lennon Miller, if he was playing out there, he would give you that little bit of quality in certain areas going forward. For me, it's just at times, I know it's easy sitting up here in the stand, but there's a ball that can be played forward, maybe 30, 40 yards forward, into a front player. And a lot of the times, because of that style, because it's embedded in them, they decide, no, we're going to turn back and, you know, we'll play the wee safe pass there 10 yards, or we'll go across the back. I just think at times when players, you know, and I get the manager wants you to play away, but if it's on, you see it, play it.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think they do that often enough. But yeah, it's been good. It's enjoyable because you don't know what's coming. Rangers need a second if they're going to make it comfortable. Motherwell certainly, they're still in this big time. The big plus for me, from a Rangers point of view, is Kieran Dowell. That's the best I've seen him in a Rangers jersey, and playing. No, it's probably alien to him, you know, playing wide right, but that's the best I've seen him.
I thought he did okay midweek. I thought he worked hard midweek as well, Derek. I mean, with respect to Motherwell, Derek, would you have concerns with this style of play for Rangers against a better team?
Yeah, yes, I have got a little bit of concern watching them, and yet it's just... we know how the goal came about. What Stephen just says is a set piece, but it's a bad mistake from McGinn, you know, and just try to roll it about. I think I says it in comms. I don't know whether I says it before. There has to be a conversation with the player, the manager, and there has to be an understanding that I'm going to try and, you know, play the way you want us to, but at times I'm going to kind of make the decision. If it needs to go forward, it's going forward, because and it's incredible because Stephen said at the start of it, this game could be decided on the team that makes the least mistakes. And at the moment,
I just mean defensively.
You're bang on. You're bang on.
And I don't mean without the ball. I just mean actually with the ball.
And Stephen, when you said that right at the start, and I got it right away, because I've watched Rangers over the last few weeks, and then I haven't watched Motherwell at all. So you can see, it's heart and mouth stuff at times, but for a neutral,
we love it.
It's great. But if that's your side and that's your team, you're certainly on edge.
Kenny, so I just feel as if both sets of players have taken their managers literally. They're trying to do everything in their power to please their manager, rather than sometimes making the right decision. Because that's why there's a little bit of hesitation. You can see them thinking, I want to play it in behind, or no, I can't, I have to play it here. And the managers won't have told them to do that. The managers will have given them a base to work from and an outline to work from. But because they're trying to please their manager early on and do everything they've worked on in training, the players have to be allowed to make decisions on the pitch that they think are right at that moment in time. And the managers will hopefully encourage that to them. But the players are so literally and been so deliberate in what they're trying to do, it's causing themselves issues.
Do you know what? It's been really exciting so far. Half time at Fir Park, Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. 2 games in the top flight for you today. Earlier on, another really good game as well. It finished Kilmarnock 2, Livingston 2. Let's now hear from the Killie boss, Stuart Cantwell. He spoke with our reporter, Andy Burke.
Well, Stuart, you got yourself in a fantastic position. How frustrating not to come away with the 3 points?
Listen, it's really frustrating. I think you always point to big moments in games, and very simply the game turned on its head when Livingston were awarded the penalty and the red card to George Stranger. I think we probably felt we were really comfortable. Livingston changed their shape at half time. They go to a back three, 2 strikers to try and kind of match us up, and that probably tells you that what we've done in the first half is good, getting ourselves ahead, not just by 1 but by 2, and you feel that you're probably going to manage the situation. You probably feel as if you're going to manage the game. The foot being too comfortable, but knowing that we're going to carry a threat going the other way, and you just felt that there was 1 or 2 wee things in there that started to conspire against us. I think Gennaro Daniels coming off and being sick was a thing. We're down to 10 minutes. We're trying to down to 10 men. Sorry, and we're trying to get him back on the pitch. And then a basic ball kind of down the side of the centre backs where George is in the dominant position. He knows himself. He puts his hand up. Going to the incident itself, I do believe it's rather soft. I thought the initial sort of pull and tug, there's contact between centre back and striker. I thought the initial tug come from Robbie Muirhead, and I must admit my angle's not clarified that, but my eyes did at the time when I seen it live. I was kind of on this side, so we kind of feel harshly done by on that one. But also once you go down to 10 men, I thought we were resolute. I thought we limited Livingston to a few chances, so you kind of believe at that point you're probably going to get through it and win the game 2-1, but it wasn't to be. We learn lessons from it, making better decisions so that doesn't become as chaotic as what it ends up being really for stages of the second half.
Yeah, as we said, you got yourself in fantastic position, 2-0. You were pushing for a third early in that second half. Is that just maybe a wee bit of ruthlessness you need to bring in when you've got a team on the ropes like that to put the game away?
Like you say, ruthlessness. We all want to score more goals. We all want to make sure we're creating chances. As I say, I felt we were comfortable enough at the start of the second half, albeit we were down to 10 for a little spell with Gennaro coming off the pitch. But you know, what's my vision of the game? Matching up in systems, matching up in shapes, wing back to wing back. I felt we were comfortable enough, and I didn't feel Livingston were creating any chances at that point. Obviously Davey's going to make a few changes to try and see if they can get back in the game, but I go back to it, without us being more ruthless or whatever, the game turns on one decision. It hinges on that one moment of the game. Out with that, we'll never know what happens, but you know, I can only give you my feeling and my sense at that point, which was that we were pretty comfortable.
Yeah, disappointment, I'm sure. How nothing's won and lost this early in the season. How important you pick yourselves up and go next week against Hibs.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Tough trip to Easter Road next week. I watched Hibs on Thursday. I was at the game on Thursday, and they put up an unbelievable performance. Really good marker for Scottish football against the top side. So we know it's going to be a different game and a difficult game. But for us, we need to keep trying to get better over this week. We need to keep working hard at what we want to look like ourselves and what we want to be ourselves. But also understanding that these moments in games will change your fortune. Being 2-0 in this league, I think you have to be ruthless, to go back and use your word, and I think you have to be able to, at worst case scenario, see out the game and get your 3 points. There's disappointment in it, but there's also a little bit of pride in the determination the players showed to make sure that it wasn't worse than that in the end. That's no crumb of comfort at this minute in time, but listen, it could have been worse when you're down to 10 men for the period of time we were.
Yeah, the thoughts there of the Kilmarnock manager Stuart Kettle. It was actually a really good game there today. So many talking points and a good few chances for the away side at the end to snatch it. Let's now hear from their boss, Davy Martindale. He's also been chatting with Andy Burke.
David, it was a bit of a roller coaster of a game for you. What's your thoughts overall coming out with a point?
I'm happy we came out with a point. A wee bit unfortunate not to get the win, but we're kind of architects of our own downfall. We're going in at 2-0 down, because I thought that was a wee bit harsh on the game. But again, we've only got ourselves to blame there. So 2 really poor goals to lose from our point of view, but I think that was only 2 shots on target. We created a couple of good things in the first half, done okay, but found ourselves 2-0 down. I spoke to the players about that. That's the difference between the Championship and the Premiership. We'd have probably went in there at 0-0 in the Championship. We'd have got away with a couple of mistakes that we make. Maybe not pressed as aggressive as what Polworth done on Adam. So we got away 2-0 down. I thought the performance was okay, but we kind of architects were on downfall. Getting at half time, speak about how we feel this is going to get us back in the game. So we change the shape, we flip it to a 3-5-2. That gets us back in the game, gets us the penalty kick, gets a red card, and then the opportunities really open up. We changed that shape, we stayed a 3-5-2 for a while, changed the shape back to a 4-3-3. Wee Smithy came on because I felt that we were going to get a lot of joy in the wide areas. They changed their shape to a 4-4-1. So the overloads, kind of the plus ones in the wide areas, we felt they would be in our favour. The 1v1s in the wide areas would be in our favour. And that's ultimately where we get the second goal. I thought Lewis Smith done extremely well when he came on. 1v1s is probably his strongest part of his game, and then that gets us in at 2 each, and then we just go on to try and win the game. A wee bit unlucky not to, but I think you've got to give Kilmarnock a wee bit of credit there as well for defending their area. I thought they'd done that really well.
You must have impressed. First game of the season, it's never all going to be perfect, but to find yourself in a hole like that and find your way back out, the character showing must give you a lot of heart. I
think the players got to take huge credit for that. I think the players showed real resilience. I felt the subs really helped the game. So I think the players have got to take a lot of credit from that. It was something we had in abundance last year. We had that in abundance. So it's nice to now see that transitioning into this season. We've got new players on the park, but it's actually really nice to see that kind of resilience. We're really robust, and the character that the players showed to go and get the game back to 2 each that's exactly what you want as a manager, and that's what they gave me.
Stuart Kettlewell a little aggrieved at the penalty and red card incident. What was your reading of that?
Probably if I was Stuart and it was against me, I'd probably say the same thing, but as the opposing manager, I think I'm going to say I thought it was a penalty. Soft, maybe, but I think a pen's a pen. So we spoke about it last week, this week actually. We had referees in walking over VAR, and I think we spoke about this as a group. Well, we definitely did as a group.
Yeah, the thoughts there of Davy Martindale. 2-2 the result at Rugby Park earlier on today. 1-0 advantage for Rangers at Fir Park. Let's get back to Stephen Craig and Derek Ferguson and Liam McLeod.
Perfect timing, Kenny. The game just about to restart here. Motherwell and the Claret and Amber will shoot from right to left towards the Davy Cooper stand. Rangers towards their own fans in the southern end as it's played all the way back there to Callum Ward. No changes for either team at the start of the second half. Motherwell and the Claret and Amber. Rangers in the blue and white. And a header away by Suter out to the far side. Comes off Fadinger, but the referee has given a free kick. And it looks of things, if it's not a free kick, it's going to be a Rangers throw. In fact, that is the decision, as blue smoke billows from the away end off to our right, which is just beginning to make its way across the Fir Park pitch here down below us. Motherwell pick up that throw in. Rangers couldn't take any advantage of it. It's a Motherwell ball. They've got Ward in goal, Gatrumbis, Longolo, Gordon and McGinn at the back. Longolo playing out at left back. Just Slattery, Fadinger and Watt, with Masuinise supporting Stamatolopoulos. Rangers with Butland in goal, Tavernier, Giga, Suter, Aarons, Raskin, Rothwell, Diamonde, Dao, Gassama and Danilo. And Paul McGuinness to head it back to his keeper. It gets just enough on it to get it back to Ward. It come to the edge of his own box. He plays it short to his right for Liam Gordon. We'll roll it back to his keeper. Plays it short to the Motherwell skipper McGinn. And then to Ward, and then back to Paul McGinn, 34 years of age now. The veteran stage of his career as he finds Longolo, but he can only slice it out for a Rangers throw-in on this near side. It's been taken quickly towards Danilo. He's onto it, right hand side of the Motherwell penalty area. His ball back's cut out, breaks to Dowell, gets away from Longolo, gets his cross in towards the back post. The header from Gassama is held onto by Ward, but once again it's come from Motherwell giving it away. 2 minutes into the second half, Rangers with a 1-0 lead and looking for a second early in the second half here.
It's excellent play by Kieran Dowell. I was saying earlier, I don't think he's a wide right, but he's a lovely little Cruyff turn to get away from Longolo. Stands the ball up lovely to the back post, and Gassama with a good header. There's not enough power on the cross. He had to try and generate the power himself, Gassama, and all he could do was put it into the hands of Callum Ward and goal. But that's another warning sign for Motherwell. If you're slopping possession, losing possession around your box, Rangers are ready to capitalise.
Collected by McGinn as he comes up towards the halfway line. Longolo wanted it, eventually he slips. McGinn plays it short infield for Just. He goes back to Longolo. Was he fouled there? Yes, he was, says Stephen McLean. That will be a free kick to Motherwell then, over on this near side, maybe about 7 or 8 yards from the main stand side touchline, and on the cusp of the attacking third team, pretty much in it. The referee there, whose brother was on the books of both these clubs at stages in his career, and he's got the magic spray out, and Gassama is forming a one-man wall there, and Longolo and Slattery are both over it. And what can Motherwell come up with here? It's going to be Longolo, left-footed, bends it along the 18-yard line. It's going to break to the right-hand side. The shot is wildly over the bar. And the slap of the hands in frustration from Stamatolopoulos as an opportunity comes and goes for Motherwell. He clearly, going by his reaction, feels he should have done better there. It stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
I thought that was a big chance for Stamatolopoulos there. He should certainly do a little bit better. He gets a little break. He's not dealt with particularly well with Rangers. Just breaks there. He's about 16, 17 yards from goal. He's at the angle, right hand side. He's got to at least work the keeper or hit the target. Does none of it. Just thrashes it wide of the target.
I think he's been starved of the ball and opportunities, and that probably sums it up, because he's snatching at it. He's just desperate to get the shot away. Tries to go for power and overhits it.
And John Suter gets it from Giga again. Rangers this time playing it out from the back. Down the left it's Aarons, sweeps it down the line for Gassama. Back to Aarons, fellow new signing, was back to Suter, and then passes it along the grass back to Butland, who'll play it to his right for Tavernier, the goal scorer. He's giving it straight to Slattery and then brings him down, and the Motherwell fans irate about the challenge of James Tavernier. He knew he'd given it away, and his reaction to trying to make up for his mistake sees him commit the foul on Slattery, and Motherwell have a free kick level with the Rangers 6-yard line. No card, but it is a free kick to the home team. in a positive area for them.
Yeah. He's very fortunate not to get a booking. I don't know what Stephen thinks. It's like Rangers overplaying. They're going to do it. We know that. Tavernier gives the ball away. Then it's a lunge. He lunges at the player. He catches him. So very fortunate not to get a booking. So big opportunity for Motherwell down this left-hand side.
Someone's got to get across Raskin in the front 6-yard box. He had one on a corner kick and he won it. If you're going to put it in flat, which Slattery's going to do, he's going to have a shot at goal. Someone has got to try and disrupt the front of that zone.
Slattery over it, this near side, bends it right towards the back post, and a huge opportunity is spurned by Elijah just at the back post. Really massive chance, and he just couldn't get the header on target, and Rangers have a goal kick.
Well, the pace is all on the ball this time. I was critical earlier because Sam, or not critical, the observation there wasn't enough power in the cross. There's enough power that time. All he's got to do is just guide it into the net. Big let-off for Rangers. Huge chance, Motherwell.
Massive opportunity. Rangers come away in a counter here. Danilo, though, can't find Dowell. It's got to give them hope, Motherwell, that they can score in this. Just giving it away in the midfield, though, and Raskin slips it out to Gassam on the left, attacking the Motherwell box. He's into it now. Left-hand side. Just checks his run. Looks for support in blue. Back to Rothwell. Low ball to the left. Raskin, who finds Aarons level with the 18-yard line. Raskin goes back to Suter, who finds Giga, pushes it forward there to Rothwell. The momentum in this attack's gone for Rangers. Came after just gave it away in the midfield. Aarons back to Giga, left of the centre circle. Now finds Tavernier to the right of it. Out to Diamonde, 51.5 on the clock. Rangers leading 1-0. It's with Kieran Dowell. Rolls it back to Giga. He steps forward, his ball's cut out there by Just, but it breaks fortuitously back to Tavernier. He plays it to Suter. The number of turnovers in this game is frightening. Here come Rangers with Aarons, really good run into the box, away from Masvinisi, forced out wide left. Still he's on it. To Raskin, infield to Rothwell, back to Giga. Square ball, first time to Suter. Right-footed, side foot out to the left-hand side for Max Aarons. Back to John Suter. Rangers having to be patient here as they look for a potentially crucial second goal. Tavernier out to the right for Diamonde as they switch the play. Dowell still out here. Diamonde checks in field. Low ball looking for Danilo, is cut out by McGinn. Then back to his own goalkeeper from Watt and cleared by Ward. Picked up on this near side by Just. This is better for Motherwell. Shifted infield by Watt there for Slattery. Knocks it through to Stamatolopoulos. Against Giga, he shoots inside the box. Good challenge, Giga, but it's behind for a Motherwell corner. Their first of the match comes in almost 53 minutes. They trail 1-0. Derek Ferguson.
Yeah, brilliant play from Motherwell. Rothwell out of position. The Motherwell just find the ball. Slattery in the middle of the park, breaking on Rangers. Stamatolopoulos again. Stephen just he says he's maybe been starved of the ball again. That's a great opportunity. He's got to get the shot off earlier. You could see it's great defending from Giza, but Stamatolopoulos got to do a hell of a lot better than that. This is how close it is, Liam, because that chance for Just, that should have been in the back of the net.
In comes the corner. McGinn hooks it well over the bar. A couple of Motherwell players optimistically looking for a corner, but it's just a goal kick to Rangers, and it remains 1-0 to Rangers as Butland smashes a high ball forward looking for Danilo. Defended well in the end there by Katrumbis on the left side. He's playing on the right, down the line here for Longolo, taking on Tavernier, level with the 6-yard line now. It goes out of play, and it's going to be a Rangers throw-in, much to the anger of the Motherwell supporters, particularly those right on top of the incident to our left in the main stand. It is a Rangers ball deep inside their own half, and the goal scorer Tavernier's over it.
Well, there's been 3 good chances Motherwell already have had into the second half. Header and Stamatolopoulos with a couple of strikes that he should be doing a lot better. So it's Rangers again. They need this second goal. They're going to make it a little bit more comfortable, but at the moment Motherwell really threatening.
It's Motherwell in possession in the midfield, and it's Shifted out to this near side by Just, and then in from Longolo. It's a good ball. Maswanisi takes it down. He's spinning and turning and trying to find some space. Still he has it. Then he gives it away, and Rangers able to clear. It just wouldn't sit for him. But you could see there Stephen Craig and how desperate he was for an opportunity to pull the trigger. We'll get Stephen in a minute. Still Motherwell. It's McGinn in the box. Shoot! Saved by Butland. Stamatolopoulos misses out on the rebound. Suter gets there before him and clears. And the Rangers number 5's taking a sore one, but all kinds of encouragement for Motherwell in the last few minutes. It stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1, 10 into the second half.
Yeah, there generally feels like a momentum swing in the game that Rangers can't get out. Danilo's isolated. That's what I was talking about in the first half. When you're under pressure and you throw the ball forward, you need your centre forward to get hold of the ball. Physically go and fight the centre halves. He's picked off far too easy by Paul McGinn. We spoke about earlier about Maswanisi trying to wriggle the shot. McGinn does brilliant left centre half, ends up left wing, really good strike, lovely save by Jack Butland. You've got to give John Suter a lot of credit. He's sharp onto it. Stamatolopoulos thought he had a tap in, but he didn't. But the game has really arrived in the second half.
It's brilliant from an attacking point of view from Motherwell. You know, again, we're talking about chances. That's 4 great chances this second half. That's more like Jack Butland's a great save, but you'd expect John Suter to get there, last ditch defending, and it had to be, because I tell you what, Stamatolopoulos, you know, he was just goals gaping for him. So it was a brilliant tackle. But Motherwell are the dangerous side at the moment. They're the ones who've shown the intent, getting forward and looking to get back in level terms.
Suter's in trouble. Stamatolopoulos for Maswanisi on the edge of the box. He shoots over the bar. Another opportunity for Motherwell. Rangers did have bodies back. We saw the goal Maswanisi scored here against Morton in the League Cup from the other side of the penalty area, and you did wonder if he'd be able to repeat the trick there. It's over the bar and it stays 1-0 Rangers.
He was too ambitious, and I hate saying that about players, but if he just lifted his head, I think Elijah Just and Longelo were in the left hand side. There was another pass in that move rather than having the shot. But this is when you have to capitalise. There's no point in dominating the game and having 4 or 5 chances. This is the cutting edge and the clinical side of the game that they need.
I think it's fair to go as far as saying Rangers have been poor since the start of the second half.
Or else you could look at the other way. Motherwell have been really good. I tell you what, they look a little bit leggy in the middle of the park. Rothwell was caught out of position a couple of times. Diamondi and Raskin maybe not getting back in as quick as probably they should. So it's Motherwell with all the energy, but just lacking. If they had that little bit of quality in the final third, they could even have found themselves in a lead. But it's not so much Rangers riding their luck. I just think it's bad finishing from Motherwell.
There's another ball in for Stamatolopoulos, and Giga manages to hook it away from danger at the edge of his own box. Rothwell's on it. Plays it shot out to Diamondi on this near side. Still he's on it despite the attentions of 2 Motherwell players. Diamondi turning it back to Tavernier. It was boiling hot in Athens the other night, and Rangers, it was an energy sapping evening for them. I do wonder how much longer Russell Martin will give it before he looks to his bench.
He should go there now, Liam. I think he needs to go to the bench just now. We're just going up to the hour mark, and this is that energy, that momentum. It's with Motherwell, so I think he's got to look to change things up a little bit. Not so much the shape, but certainly personnel.
2 minutes shy of the hour mark at Fir Park. 1-0 Rangers, and Gassama comes forward for them, attacking the Motherwell box. And then trying to turn back onto his left side. 2 Motherwell players around him. He emerges with it and passes it back to Tavernier. Not that he knew much about it. Tavernier on his left side, edge of the D, plays it to the left for Raskin. Aarons to his left. Raskin has it and goes back to Diamondi. Now out to Max Aarons, level with the edge of the D of the Motherwell box. Under pressure from Maswanisi. Back to Suter, forward to Rothwell. Square ball for Giga. Just outside the centre circle, where he plays it low out to Dowell, who goes back to Tavernier. Tavernier looking for options ahead of him, decides to go back to Suter. And a lot of this Rangers, they seem quite happy at times to, there's no obvious option ahead, then go back the way.
Not enough energy, not enough movement in the play there. Diamondi caught.
Yeah, Slattery's on it and he's won it. He plays it through to Stamatolopoulos. It rolls under his right foot and all the way through to Butland. The benches today: Oxford as the sub, Motherwell keeper O'Donnell, Balmer, Sparrow, Halliday, Wilson, White, Ross, Said. For Rangers, Liam Kelly's the sub goalie, Cortez, Barron, Dessers, Bayrami, Cameron, Jeffrey, Fernandez and Curtis. And you do wonder if the likes of Connor Barron Nadeem Bayrami, Lyle Cameron's waiting for his Rangers debut, and we've already seen Finlay Curtis start the two Panathinaikos games. As Rangers pick up Diamonde, and then there's a really late challenge there. It's going to be a yellow card for the challenge on Kieran Dowell down there, and the card is out for Elliot Watt.
I'm looking at Stephen, I'm shaking my head. I don't think that's just a ball there to be won. You know, he's in wholeheartedly. It's not a booking, you know. And you look back at Tavernier's one, you'd have thought that was more of a booking. But no, Motherwell, you know, the last 15 minutes in this half, they've been absolutely superb. Energy, driving forward, wave after wave of attack. Rangers, just at the moment, they're passing for passing's sake. No injection of pace, certainly in that final third.
Motherwell's big concern is it's still nil. That's a big concern for Motherwell. When you create the chances and you ball the play and you're exerting a lot of energy and you don't get the goal, it can deflate you a little bit, and suddenly the sucker punch can arrive. So they have to stay switched on.
Rangers in possession with Tavernier. And now back with Rothwell just right of the centre circle. And out to the left for Aarons. Knocks it forward to the outside of the right boot, looking for Kasama, asking too much of Kasama, and behind it goes for the goal kick to Motherwell. As the look, as Derek was saying there, Stephen was saying, try and take advantage of the fact that they have been on top. I think they had something like 4 touches of the ball in the Rangers box in the first half. That's up to 14 in the 16 minutes of play in the second. Rangers have had the same number of touches in the opposition box as Stamatolopoulos goes down. Is he fouled by Giga? The referee doesn't think so. Stamatolopoulos having a long, lingering look at Stephen McLean. No free kick. Rangers play on with Rothwell.
In that midfield area at the moment, Diamonde and Raskin, they're looking leggy, they're looking tired.
Change is coming, Derek.
Yeah, it looks as if it's Desert's coming up.
I think they've been anonymous, haven't they? They haven't any of the ball, they've had no impact in the game, and that's when you know as a manager you need to put oxygen into your side.
Cyril Dessers, Lyle Cameron will be getting his debut as Aarons comes into the Motherwell box, shoots, and it's a comfortable take for Callum Ward, the low left-footed effort for the Motherwell keeper. It's played short, and Fadinger given away. Tavernier with the challenge, going to break kindly for Longdalo though. Goes back to his keeper, has to take a touch in this box. Dowell slides in, but he can only knock it behind for the goal kick. So the change is coming. Danilo coming off, and Dessers, who scored 29 times last season. He's been maligned at times during his 2 years at the club. He will come on to replace Danilo Diamonde, who is actually, in fairness, he's looked like he's struggling for energy since the start of the game. Lyle Cameron will replace him.
Yeah, so he looks dead on his feet. It was a little give and go round about him, and his reaction to it, you know, he'd nothing left in the tank. He couldn't get back there. So, you know, certainly Rangers in that engine room, they need more energy, and Cameron will certainly give you that.
Yeah, Rangers bringing Lyle Cameron to the club after another fine season in the Dundee first team. He scored those 2 crucial goals in the final day at McDermott as well to ensure they stayed up. They've played it out to the back end, and they're so fortunate that didn't land at the foot of Cyril Dessers, who's just on. They're coming away with it now. That's going to be a free kick. Lyle Cameron is going to be booked 20 seconds into his Rangers career.
So Lyle Cameron's got more yellow cards than he has touches in his Rangers debut so far, which is mad. What
about that play?
Chaos.
I think that is madness.
Yeah.
I don't know how they'll get away with it, but I think that's crazy. Playing 1-2s in your 6-yard box.
It's astonishing, Derek. I cannot get my head right.
When there's about 3 or 4 blue jerseys round about you, that's.
But if you're going up against a superior team, and that is the case here, why do you still play that way? I can't understand it. As Motherwell come forward this time, Rangers haven't looked too great at the back. Motherwell have a chance here. It's lofted over the bar by Elijah Just. He's had a couple of opportunities in the second half, but he fires it high and wide, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. 64 minutes on the clock. If this stays 1-0 at full time, I'll be equally astonished. Rangers playing out from the back. It's, well, from a neutral point of view, it's entertaining.
Well, that's Rangers saying to Motherwell, anything you can do in your 6-yard box,
we can do worse.
We can't do it either. not going to change. Both managers aren't going to change.
No.
So in mid-December, Liam, you come here to watch Motherwell and the pitch is a mess, which it usually isn't. It's going to be the exact same way by all accounts, as in Rangers.
Tavernier clears, Dessers, and now Raskin gets it in defeat, driving up towards the halfway line. Dessers to his right, and Gassama to his left. Still it's Raskin, can't make up his mind what he's doing, and eventually squares it to Dowell. Rangers with a 1-0 lead, looking for a second here. Cameron plays it infield to Tavernier, and then play it short to Dowell, and then to Cameron, and then back to Dowell, infield to Tavernier. Then Aarons to Suter, sweeps it with the right foot out to Gassama on the left. Going to try and take on Katrumbas here. It's the low ball forward into the box for Raskin, who wins the corner.
Oh, certainly better from Rangers that time. Ball just played to Gassama down that left hand side, and it's a lovely weighted pass to Raskin, making the run into the box left hand side, and it's well defended. But Rangers, you know, they need this because they've been under severe pressure for the last 15-20 minutes, so need a breather here.
Joe Rothwell goes out to take the corner on the Rangers left, attacking the goal to our right, to the two dugouts right as well. From Rothwell, it's a deep one towards the back post. Tavernier wins the header, heads it back towards Dessers, who is back to goal and can control. Mother will come away with it on the far side. Maswanisi up the line. Now what can they make of this on the counter, Motherwell? It's swept out to this left-hand side for Just, looking to knock it in towards Stamatolopoulos. He's onto it, right-footed shot is blocked by Aarons, and Butland holds on. It's a good counter by Motherwell. They're desperately trying to feed Stamatolopoulos. It's just not quite happened for him yet. 66 played, and it's Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
I just think sometimes when you get in that position, Liam, as much as you're counter-attacking, Rangers had an overload against Stamatolopoulos, and rather than forcing it, just take another touch, chop inside, allow a little bit more support. Maswanisi was galloping up as well to try and get in touch. So rather than continually trying to force the issue and panicking a little bit of composure, just settle yourself and play that extra pass if you have to.
He came here with good pedigree, Stamatolopoulos, from his homeland Australia. Played for Newcastle Jets, scored 17 goals in 25 appearances before moving here. There was an injury interrupted debut season as Rangers come forward down the right with Cameron. Dowell's out here on the near side, uses him. Infield to Rothwell, prods it through there for Dessers. He's bobbled away from him though, and Motherwell can clear their lines. They've given it away again, and Rangers have it back with Rothwell. Nicks it to Raskin to his left. Raskin into the box, shoots, blocked, corner. Rangers well into double figures now. Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. The final quarter of the match here. And just a little pointer for BBC Radio Scotland listeners who are waiting for Take the Floor. That will follow at 7 o'clock. There will be a frequency split in just over 5 minutes' time. The football will be extra and on medium wave and on digital. Take the Floor on FM and on sounds. You have been warned. Rangers corner, Rothwell to take, in-swinger with the right foot. The referee's not happy. There are a big group of players just to the right of the penalty spot who are pushing and grabbing each other. Rothwell waits to take the corner, now the ref's ready. This is the source of the only goal of the game, a Rothwell corner. In it comes, it's another deep delivery. Again, Tavernier wins it. It's played back to Cameron, who shoots, and it's right down the middle, and it's held on to by the keeper. Decent hit actually from Lyle Cameron, a difficult one for him to take. And it was a comfortable save because it was straight at the goalkeeper, Callum Ward, and it stays 1-0 Rangers.
Yeah, again, Tavernier at the back post. He's won so many headers. He obviously has got the goal with the head at the back post area, but yeah, good strike from Cameron. Just couldn't put it towards a post, either left or right, to really work the keeper, and then it was a comfortable save. But no, it's been all Motherwell in this second half. It's just, you just can't quite believe that. Here we go again.
Yeah, Longallow's kept it in play down the left, driving into the box, pulls it back towards the 18-yard line. It's blocked. Kept alive, Just swings. It's a brilliant ball, and Stamatolopoulos heads over. Another chance, goes out begging for the Steelmen, and with just over 20 left, it stays 1-0 Rangers. They're going to have to take one of these.
How it's still 1-0, I don't know. I have to say, Elijah Just, it's a tremendous pick out because he gets to the byline. If he fizzes it low and hard across, there's too many Rangers players there. He has to take Jack Butland out of play, he does. And Stamatilopoulos is clambering all over the top of John Suter. John Suter, I think, just does enough. He doesn't get a clean header, hits the top of his head and just lands on the crossbar. But wow, they're coming closer, getting closer, but not close enough.
I mean, this is an even game. It's a very even game. Motherwell have been the better team.
Does it feel that way at the moment? It feels all Motherwell to me. And I was just going to say earlier, this is anybody's game. I know Rangers
across the match as a whole. I mean,
that one is as if Stamatilopoulos was. It's just as if he was maybe coming down. He gets his head on it, but it's a brilliant cross. So it's because Butland knew he's coming near post. He's got to, and he just takes him out of the equation. And I think he's just coming down. He's jostling, fighting with Suter at that back post there. But again, what an unbelievable chance. I mean, Rangers can't keep conceding these chances because one's got to go into the back of the net.
What I would say, Liam, is I can't remember a Motherwell and Rangers game here at Fir Park being as close for the entirety of the game as what we've got tonight.
That's what I was getting at, yeah.
And there's been spells where Motherwell have been good in games, but not 50-50 as it is at this moment in time, which is either Motherwell being better or Rangers not being as good. I'm not so sure how that pans out.
Well, the guys were talking there, Motherwell making a change and bringing Stephen O'Donnell on for Liam Gordon, former Scotland international on, the two-time cup winner at St Johnstone, Liam Gordon. Rangers have a goal kick after that Stamatilopoulos chance. Just a reminder that frequency split is almost upon us. We'll take the floor on FM and BBC Radio Scotland. Sports Sound continuing on Extra and 810 medium wave and on digital. Slattery for Motherwell, knocking it through, looking for Stamatilopoulos. It's a last-ditch challenge by Suter. It's going to go out for a Motherwell throw-in about level with the Rangers 6-yard line on this near side. And it's going to be left for Longolo. But there's an equaliser in this for Motherwell if they can find it. They're trying their utmost and a little bit profligate in the second half. A couple of these opportunities they might have done better with. Longolo over the throw then. There's not much movement in Claret and Amber at the moment. He's getting some from Slattery. Being marshalled by Cameron, so it's played to Watt. His little flick drops straight to Cameron. He wins Rangers a throw in deep inside their own half here on this near side.
And I'm sure there's not
change coming, sorry, Stephen. I will tell you what, we'll get the frequency split out of the way and then we'll get Stephen's thoughts. Connor Barron, meantime, is going to come on for Nicholas Raskin.
Now they've looked leggy, certainly in this second half. Basically the Motherwell midfield, they've just ran over the top of them. Rothwell as well is coming off, so that's that midfield area where I thought Rangers were really strong, but no change.
Take the floor, BBC Radio Scotland FM coming up and on Sounds. We continue here on 810 medium wave, on Extra and on digital with Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. There is 73 minutes on the clock. Can Motherwell salvage something out of this game?
I was going to say, Liam, sorry, I'm not sure that Jans Bertholascu can ask an awful lot more from his players. You know, be brave, be adventurous, get yourself forward, hard running, everything you want from your team. And the only thing that's missing is the hardest part of football, putting the ball in the back of the net.
And the only thing separating them is an awful goal from their point of view. And that'll be the biggest frustration of all, particularly if this ends up being the final score.
And Russell Martin has said previous in a few interviews that he wants his team to outrun, outsprint the opposition. Well, I think it's there's only one team doing this at the moment in the second half, and it's Motherwell.
Rangers in possession over on the left there with Gassama. Just loses out, breaks to the edge of the box and turning back towards his own goal. It was risky there, Fadinger, but he's fortunate. It drops to O'Donnell. He goes with a long ball forward. It clips off the top of Tavernier's head. Just gets onto it, nods it to his right for Slattery. The Motherwell fans roar in hope that they can find an equaliser here as it slipped through. Just in the box. The challenge from Barron, and it bobbles back to Butland, who holds on, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
How many times have Motherwell counter-attacked Rangers in the second half? I've lost count, because Rangers attack, ball turns over, and suddenly Motherwell take off, and the Rangers team, even though there's 3 fresh midfield players in and wide players, they're struggling to cope with the running power. I'm amazed.
Double rolling it back to Suter. Is at walking pace at the moment, just slipping it forward to the left there for Cameron. Goes back to Aarons, and now Suter. Suter then rolling it with the right foot, low out to the left-hand side for Cameron. Cameron finds Aarons, going back the way.
They just look one-paced at the moment, Rangers. But as soon as Motherwell gain possession of the ball, you know, there's that change of pace, that acceleration, they get forward in numbers. Rangers, it's just, it's as if they're in second gear.
Yeah, they've also, in the midst of all that, brought on Nadim Bayrami to try and shake some life into the team. He's been sorely lacking in the second half. Motherwell have taken the game to them. Without success, though, so far. Bayrami came on for Raskin. Big switch for Motherwell, just evades Longolo and out for the throw-in on this near side to the visitors.
Problem is, Liam, see when you slow the game up the way Rangers are, you allow Motherwell to filter in back behind the ball, so that space that you had initially is gone, and you've got to move it, but you've got to move it a bit quicker. Try and draw a Motherwell player out and then pierce it. Motherwell just sitting waiting for Rangers to give the ball away and then counter-attacking, and it's happened time and time again.
Barron out to Tavernier, rolls it forward here for Bayrami, out to Dowell, back to Bayrami, right hand side of the Motherwell box, well read by McGinn though for Motherwell. He turns it back in field and is encouraging his teammate to just get rid of it, but it wasn't the most decisive clearance in the world, and it breaks to Tavernier. Not a great ball out of the fence by Fadinger. Here's Tavernier, goes all the way back to Suter. Rangers generally do okay in the opening weekend of the league season. They lost one of them since 1998 when they were beaten at Kilmarnock 2 years ago. Did drop points at Tynecastle 12 months back. Goalless draw. As Tavernier picks up right of the centre circle and switches it to Suter. Little chip ball forward in behind the Motherwell defence. Gassama trying to get onto it, and he is onto it now. Plays it back to Dessers, bobbles between his feet, he's still on it. Back out to Gassama. Rangers looking to kill the game here. On the left hand side, Gassama pulls it back. Barron takes a touch and shoots over the bar. It's not a massive goal scorer, Connor Barron, and that's well over the bar. And on 77.5 it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1.
Yeah, a little bit better in terms of getting the ball to Gassama in that wide left hand side. You know, a little bit of trickery, but ends up just lays it into, I think it was the Connor Barron there, and then he never looked, he's never set. You weren't confident he was going to even hit the target at the moment, but it's not even, we're talking about running power from Motherwell. It's a little duels as well.
Fadinger gives it away. Gassama through for Dessers, might get a second chance here. The keeper's come out, committed himself, got nowhere near it, but he's fortunate because Dessers has given it away as well. And now Motherwell come in a counter, and Maswanise has managed to pop it through to Stamatolopoulos, who's driving down the right hand side. Maswanise and just waiting in the middle. Stamatolopoulos across, blocked by Giga. It's a poor ball. Bounces back to the Aussie though, and now to Just the edge of the box, but he scuffs his effort well wide. That looked like it opened up beautifully for Apostolos Stamatolopoulos, but he couldn't take advantage of it. Again, he's had so many opportunities himself in the second half, and it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1, and that will be Stamatolopoulos' final action, because Ibrahim Said's going to come on, Stephen.
Well, you can't fault him for effort and for energy and desire. I thought the first half he was quiet. His hold-up play, his link-up play wasn't good. It's been much improved in the second half. But that final attack, he's running with the ball. Maswanise is just running in a straight line. Elijah Just is running in a straight line. They needed to make some sort of movement a little bit earlier, just to disrupt the Rangers back line and give him a better choice of pass. But unfortunately he couldn't make it. But they're still there. They've now got the pace of Maswanise. He'll play centre forward. Sayad will play on the right hand side, so a different threat for Rangers again.
23-year-old Nigerian who's here after 5 years at Viborg in Denmark, as Butland shanks it out for a Motherwell throw-in on this near side. The ball back to McGinn. I think you could say, Derek, that up to this point, just over 10 minutes to play, this has been unconvincing from Rangers today.
And that's been extremely kind, Liam. Well, we'll see how this pans out.
Motherwell are away and a counter again here. It's rolled into the box for Maswinise. Well covered by Giga. He's dealt with everything that he's had to deal with today.
Well, Liam, there's a difference with Motherwell. When they get the ball, they go at pace. There's intent to get forward, you know, get past your man. Rangers, when they get the ball, they're so passive in their passing, and it's one pace.
Slattery from Motherwell. We are on 80 minutes. 1-0 Rangers. Out to side on the far side. Turns it back the way. It's a poor ball in though. Rangers can clear. Dessers goes down wanting the free kick, and Stephen McLean duly obliges.
Dreadful refereeing, I have to say. It's such a soft free kick. There's a little coming together. Steve McLean could not wait to blow the whistle. I'm not blaming the Rangers player for it, because clearly he's gone down trying to win the free kick.
He's looking for it, yeah.
Which is what you do as players, but the referee doesn't need to be as soft with his whistle. It's not been a really over-physical game at all.
Tavernier back to Suter, and then to Giga. Out to Bayrami on the near side as it nicked off and looked like it came off him last. Indeed, the referee and his assistant agree. It's a poor touch by Fadinger. He gets away with it again, managed to hook it away from Dessers, who'd been in goal there. He's done that way too often for Motherwell today, Fadinger. And that's played down that right for side, up against Aarons. A misunderstanding there with his teammate Just. He's in behind him, and Rangers have it back with Aarons on the far side. The question is, do Motherwell have another big chance before the end? The Slattery lets fly. It's a poor effort in the end up, and then he's dragged it well wide past the left-hand post. Low shot at goal, and it will stay Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. They're going to bring on Oscar Cortez, our Rangers. And he's joined the club full-time in the summer after that previous big fee was agreed following his long loan spell at the club, and he's got plenty to prove because he's arrived for big money as well.
Yeah, they look so disjointed as well. You know that they've been extremely poor in this second half. The changes I thought would have give a little bit more energy, a little bit more drive. It's not really materialised. Cortez, as you said, came for a little bit of money. You're looking for him to make an impact, but they look just a group of players in this second half that have just been through together, and they've not get the, you talk about the little relationships you have in the park, the understanding. There's nothing at the moment coming from Rangers. It's actually quite worrying.
Cameron wins it back for them on the far side. Now it's Aarons, and it was Gassama who came off there incidentally. Cortez replacing him. Slattery fouled by Barron. Free kick Motherwell just inside the Rangers half on that right side. Almost on 83 minutes now. Rangers hanging on and have done since the interval.
Do you know, Liam, I thought when Motherwell started the second half really well, that 15-20 minute period, I thought then Rangers would start to grow back into the game. It's been nothing like that. It's been relentless from Motherwell. Wave after wave of attack, chance after chance, and it's 83 minutes and it reads Motherwell 0, Rangers 1, which that's what I find quite incredible.
Derek, if I was to ask you what's Rangers' tactic, what are they trying to do?
I've not got a clue at the moment. I've not got a clue, and even when they get the ball, it's so passive. It's just find a blue jersey, go back the way, go side to side. There's nothing. You try to create 1v1s, 2v1s, little overloads, attack. There's nothing, Stephen. Nothing. I don't see it at the moment.
Another foul by Tavernier, and there's a yellow for someone. Not sure.
Dowell.
Was it Dowell got that?
Dowell get that.
Because Tavernier could have been booked earlier, and he could easily have been booked for that one. He got booked for neither of them. It's a free kick to Motherwell though, and it's right to centre, just about midway inside the Rangers half. And Slattery is over it. But the clock is ticking down on Motherwell if they want to take something from this opening Premiership fixture. Slattery with it, and there's a breakdown in communication with a couple of his teammates because he's just floated it harmlessly behind for a goal kick. And it stays Motherwell 0, Rangers 1. But this is as well as Motherwell have played against Rangers here, probably since that playoff, for an extended period of time.
In a long time, Liam, in a long, long time. And I'm saying, I'm trying to work out, is it because Motherwell have been better or Rangers are poorer?
Side for Motherwell picking up the centre of the pitch. Aarons gets there though. It's played out to Cortez. Rangers know that if they get to full time 1-0, it doesn't matter in many
that's
respects.
A great example. The ball goes to Cortez, way out wide on that left hand side, and the first thing he should be doing is taking that ball, carrying it forward. First thing he does, he looks to pass it backwards. You know, get a grip of the ball, get forward, get your team up the park. Stephen asked the question. I don't quite see what they're trying to do at the moment.
Final 5 minutes at Fir Park. Earlier it was 2-2 between Kilmarnock and Livingston. Killie finishing with 10 men after what was by all accounts an entertaining affair in Ayrshire. Daniels and Watson at Kilmarnock 2-0 up at the break. Muirhead's penalty after the red card. Pittman scored the late equaliser. Rangers come forward, it's a long ball, Dessers can't get onto it, and it's held onto by Ward. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. kickoff, Falkirk Dundee United. 3 o'clock start at Dens, Dundee Hibs. 4:30 start, Flag Day for Celtic, who host St Mirren, who they played there on the final day of last season. Then on Monday it's Hearts against Aberdeen. Rangers Victoria Pilsen on Tuesday. Partizan, Hibs, Rapid Vienna, Dundee United on Thursday. Here come Motherwell. Longolo bounding into the box. His efforts blocked. Breaks back to the edge of the area. Surely be an offside flag here, but it's been turned into the net. And the flag has stayed down. And unbelievably, Emmanuel Longolo pops up to rattle it into the bottom right corner. And you cannot say that Motherwell do not deserve the equaliser that's just been bestowed upon them by Emmanuel Longolo. With 3.5 and then 90 to play, it is Motherwell 1, Rangers 1. I have to say, I thought there was an offside in there, but the linesman's flag stays down.
I think when the strike comes in from Johnny Katrumbas, it's possibly James Tavernier at the back post is coming out. The deflection then goes up in the air and the ball is delayed getting to Elijah Just. I think he is just onside. That was my initial thought, he's onside because Tavernier and him crossed. VAR will clear that up for us, Liam. If the goal stands, we're waiting to see the referee point to the spot. You're right, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And Motherwell have been knocking on the door the whole second half, and they deserve what they've got for their effort, for their energy, for their desire, for their quality, and for their resilience not to give in. They deserve to be level in this game.
Yeah, the goal does stand. Rangers kick off. Their lead has gone. Motherwell with a deserved equaliser based on their second half performance. As Rangers come through, Cameron's found by Rami. Can they get their lead back here? It's pulled back and it bounces behind for the corner off Elliott Watt. Rangers looking to restore their advantage, and this is where Motherwell will have to be so concentrated.
They've been poor at set pieces as well. Tavernier winning quite a number of balls at the back post, but you're quite right, Motherwell. It's the least they deserve, that equaliser, because they've been sensational in their second half and certainly deserve to draw level.
There could easily be more drama at either end in the closing stages here. The final 2 of the 90. In comes the corner. Motherwell head cleared, volleyed for goal by Bayrami. It is blocked and Rangers have yet another corner, this time over on their left hand side.
Why is it taking Rangers to concede a goal to bring them to life? The game's there, they're 1-0 up, go and kill it. Suddenly it's taken a little bit of adversity for them to think, right, we got to get a...
Stephen, even leaders, some players, you know, they're not getting a grip of other players, geeing them up, getting them going. There's been nothing.
In comes Barron's corner onto the goal line, beaten away by the goalkeeper, and then preventing the corner was the Motherwell goal scorer, Longolo. He took his goal really well. It's his second, scored, it was Peterhead he scored against, wasn't it? And a fabulous finish here. Motherwell have a man down inside their own box. It's Slattery that's down there inside his own penalty area. Rangers have a throw-in, which is level with the Motherwell penalty spot as we go into the 90th minute. One apiece. As Tavernier picks up, having taken the throw-in and got it back from Bayrami. Bayrami gets it back, finds Dow. Bayrami across, blocked brilliantly there, just as it looked as though Cortez was going to slide it home. And Rangers open at the back as Motherwell come forward on the counter with Just, who I think's in a very good game. A chance here to knock it out wide, but it's cut out by Cortez. It was the sub Saeed who gives it away. Aarons for Rangers, driving down the left. It's a good challenge by Fadinger. Can they keep it in play? It's going to go out, I think, for a Motherwell throw-in anyway. And then a little bit of afters there, not once but twice. Aarons pushing Stephen O'Donnell to the deck, and he's been booked as well, the Rangers left back. A couple of changes coming for Motherwell for the stoppage time, and we await to see Ian Snedden's board to tell us how much is being added on. 4 minutes. 4 minutes being added on for one of these teams to find a winner. Motherwell 1, Rangers 1. There's been plenty going on out there. It's been played at a frenetic pace at times.
And for the players who are new to Scottish football, I'm talking about from both sides.
This guy's been good. He's coming off here.
He has.
Just.
You know what? He picks up really good positions. His understanding of the game. He recognises where the ball is, where the space is. Lovely touch. He's very slick. Not the heaviest, but he glides across the ground. And I have to say, he's got a lovely left foot. Technically very, very good.
On comes big Kofi Balmer for him. Tom Sparrow's going to be on as well. And he's going to replace Slattery in the closing stages of the game. But as much as clearly there will be plenty talk about the performance of Rangers in the second half, so much grounds for optimism for the Motherwell supporters, given the way they've taken the game to Rangers in the second half.
They've been at full tilt all second half, and Rangers, you know, it's as if they've been going through the motions, which is, you know, you can't quite believe it, because it's such a big game. They needed to get off to a good start, try and win it, but they're lucky to even be drawn at the moment, Liam. But and that's why you can see the Motherwell fans applauding the Motherwell players, because they are giving it everything. Are the men in blue doing that? I don't think so.
That's a real concern for Russell Martin, that, if that is the case. Motherwell have it. Saeed on this near side. Got movement ahead of him. It's a lovely turn. Was he fouled? Yes, he was. Free kick, Motherwell. Yellow card, Tavernier. And look, there's plenty of Motherwell supporters who are turned round to us, basically saying that should be him off now. Yellow card for the Rangers captain.
Can't disagree with that.
Well, that's the Motherwell fans you're hearing.
I tell you, that's the loudest I've heard the home support, and against an Old Firm team for a long, long time. Not just because they're drawing the game, but because of what their team have put in and what they've enjoyed watching. I said at the top of the game I wasn't sure what we were going to get, because sometimes the Premier Sports Cup can be a false gauge, but tonight they've been absolutely on the money.
Free kick Motherwell. It's been taken into the box by Watt towards the back post, pushed across the face of goal, and it drops kindly for Cyril Dessers. Back doing a defensive job. The whistle's gone anyway for offside. Jens Bertalascu, the new Motherwell manager, his league bow today, and it looked like it was getting off to an inauspicious start with that cheap goal conceded, scored by Tavernier relatively early in proceedings, and they came roaring out of the traps at the start of the second half. And at times Rangers haven't lived with them. Rangers can still win this football match as well, though, and they're coming forward. Dowell look for Bayrami, but that's a brilliant bit of defending there by Longolo. He's been outstanding in the second half, not just for his goal, but they might be in here, Motherwell. It's played through for Tom Sparrow. He's at the edge of the box on his left foot, shoots to the outside of the boot, and it's saved by Butland. Motherwell so close to a sensational winning goal there. And Butland got down to his left to make the save. Sparrow flicked it with the outside of his boot, and he couldn't put it home, having scored in the recent win at Ibrox. It stays 1-1.
It's a brilliant attempt at goal. It's caught kind of under his feet a little bit. You know, you're seeing outside, even as if it was his toe. You know, he just gets it. So it comes off at real pace. I tell you what a save it is from Butland down to his left-hand side. I just could see that there, 2-1 Motherwell, and you couldn't have argued with it, because they probably deserve it in this second half performance, because they have been exceptional.
Free kick, or drop ball rather, for Rangers in their favour. Let's take back to Giga. Now it's with Tavernier midway inside the Motherwell half. We've played the 4 minutes. Bayrami bends the cross in. It's claimed by the keeper eventually, Callum Ward, and he flops down onto it as well. And bounces straight up and gets ready to launch it forward, but we are in added time and added time. It is 1-1. Long ball up towards Maswinise, but that's it, it's all over. Well, it looked as though it was. It looked like it was, but it's an offside. It was blown for there, but the final whistle's coming.
I was hoping it was going to be all over.
Derek's saying that not because he's not enjoyed the game as a whole, because it's been very entertaining, but he's very concerned about the performance from Rangers today.
Yeah, and you tip your cap to Motherwell, because I love when players go at it 100%, and they've done that. The only thing they've lacked that little bit of quality in the final third.
That is the final whistle now, and the Motherwell fans celebrate a point well earned on the opening day. A brilliant second half performance by the men in claret and amber. They battered Rangers for spells in that second half and probably should have won this match. But the strike from Emmanuel Longalo has earned them a point here. As he rifled it home, it bobbled back towards him and he smashed it into the bottom right. That after James Tavernier's headed opener on 14 minutes, nodding home Rothwell's corner. Neither team looked particularly solid defensively today. There probably should have been many more goals than the two that were scored. But it is a point apiece for these two. It's the Motherwell fans who are celebrating, many of them wildly over on the far side. And little wonder, given what they've seen from their team in that second period. Rangers were not bad in the first half, but they dropped their levels dramatically in the second. Now perhaps you do have to take into account the match in the searing heat in Athens the other night, in the Champions League qualifiers, and the travel that had to be done as well. It's been a long week for them, and I'm not sure there'll be too many of those supporters in the south stand behind the goal there will be wanting that to be made as an excuse for what was a really poor performance by and large. Rangers dropped points in 16 of their league games last season. This is game one, and they've dropped points already. It finishes here at Fir Park. Motherwell 1, Rangers 1.
Football from